Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. But that kind of is what it is with that particular story right there. We'll definitely keep you updated as that trial and stuff fastly approaches us. I can't wait to see what goes down with that. Now, Meek Mill, always vocal. If you follow him on Twitter, he always saying some pretty profound things. Well, he put this tweet out the other day that we wanted to talk about here. He said, since they got like 30 abandoned schools in Philly, can we buy one and build a super school in our own neighborhood? I hang with a lot of billionaires that really care about education. All we need is one school to start SamAnt. Now we see that,
He said Philly, right?
Yeah, he said Philly. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He 30 abandoned schools, which is crazy for a city of that size. How do you feel about Meek Mill's tweet? You think he's really about to do something in Philly with building a school?
I do. I think that he's serious about it. We were talking in almost kind of like Meek, damn, don't put everything out there, brother. You got the power, you got the resources right now to just do.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not saying put your money where your mouth is, because I think he's very genuine in what he says, but you just don't want to give everybody your moves and allow everybody's energy to allow the hate or the negativity or just the discouragement to kind of seep in. And you got a lot of great attention going on right now for a lot of things that you're advocating and how you're moving and things like that. But you also had lingering cases, and the type of hate you get on the other side of the spectrum behind that gavel. The attention that you demand, and they don't really like you like that. So you kind of want to move in a smart way. I think a school is a great idea. And I mean,
who should he call? LeBron or Umar?
I can't help but I ain't even want to. You want to talk about such positivity, but you can't help but to talk about Umar in this situation because, damn it, it's in Philly.
Oh, man.
30 schools in Philly. When
30.
we could break down numbers and the donations and what he's received and how it would make economical sense to put it in a city that that you're intimate with, that you can kind of relate to the kids that you schooled, allegedly. It's not been proven. I ain't seen a testimonial from a single child come out and say how you've helped them. I ain't heard a single staff member come out and hey, how great of a principal you were in their school. You ain't heard anything. All you've heard is you.
Right.
It just shows you even more how full of shit Umar is. And I don't know if Meek Mill was throwing a direct jab, but indirectly he threw a jab at it.
And a lot of people they will tag in LeBron. They say get with LeBron, but I
don't think he needs LeBron.
No, he don't need LeBron. I think he could do it with himself and just get the qualified, people on staff for a project of that magnitude. I think that Meek could definitely pull it off. And just to start with one, maybe it could be a private or whatever type of school. First of all, we know one thing, that he's going to get everything he needs. There'll be no problem with funding. There'll be no problem with getting all the accreditations and what they need to be under the state guidelines, because it's Meek, and he's going to do everything right. He won't have to beg for money, to do this. And like you said, his billionaire backing. So I hope that this, could be one of the projects that, Meek Mill gets off the ground, because people are going to come because it's Meek.
You know what I would love to see, oh God, because a lot of people were vouching for LeBron, but people got to remember he did that in the city of Akron or in Ohio, a place where he's from.
Where he's from.
Where it's intimate. I would love to see Meek get with like a Kev Hart, Will Smith, a Charlie Mack, people from Philadelphia who care about the city, who care about them kids, who know them streets, and really throw some coin up and make this happen, because it can happen. We see
that's
how
too much like all them names coming together. I feel you, it's 100%, but
we know realistically it ain't gonna happen.
Right.
But what if they donations, legitimate donations that you knew were going somewhere and things like that, and you started getting pieces in place where that they could have at least a place in the school or things like that. There's resources and things that he could do outside of LeBron, and I would love to see him kind of keep this in-house and make it happen.
Yeah.
I think that would be dope.
Now, all those 30 abandoned schools, you think Umar should have got one of them instead of going to Delaware?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that would make more
But there's
sense.
reasoning why he went to Delaware, and people broke it down. People have been doing an excellent job. Shout out to the people who do the great jobs that they do on the Umar coverage and why the shit's a scam, because it's phenomenal work. But there's reasonings why he picked that school in particular at the time that he picked it, and his moves are very calculated, as sloppy as they are, and it's just showing you day by day how much of a scam this is. And it's a shame that the people still follow him because they're following false prophet. It's almost like they're not following the man anymore. They were just following the message that they fell in love with.
Yeah.
And they can't fall out of love with the message. And you don't have to. Umar said a lot of things that people can relate to, that make sense, that you could take and go, okay, I could make myself better in hearing something, whether it was a piece of historical information, whether it's bullshit or not. If you took something positive out of it, take it. Mm-hmm. But this brother scamming with the school, and y'all just gotta let that hit you. That's the reality. That just is what it is.
Yeah. And only time is going to reveal the true magnitude of that scam. But we shall be here to be talking about that. That's one thing for certain. We'll be around here when it goes down.
Oh God, one, in your opinion, does Meek Mill know Umar? Does he know the situation that's going on? How do you think he feels? That you're not Meek Mill, so you can't really speak, but just writing this statement, how do you think he feels about Umar Johnson?
At first I would definitely, willing to bet that he definitely probably knows of him. But to sit up here and think that he's following him as extensively we follow him, like listening to, the things that's going on with the school, he may not even know that he got a school. He may not even, everybody don't spend a lot of time on YouTube or following this guy like we do. So he may not know the magnitude of everything that's going on, but I'm sure that he's heard of him. And you got to ask yourself the question, since Umar has been trying to get Meek. He's been calling Meek's name out on Meek's jock for years and all these different people in Philly. None of these guys are attaching themselves to Umar Johnson for a reason. It makes perfect sense for Kevin Hart, people like Meek, and all these other people to be attaching themselves from a homeboy from Philly. Come on now.
Jill Scott was repping him for a while. I don't know if she's still repping him.
Shit, she probably didn't know, but again, it makes sense. Like that's a perfect type of relationship for that to go down. You kind of expect that, but a lot of people are not stamping this guy because I think they know the deal for real. Professionals and people, he don't have any backing. Somebody who's ingrained in hip hop like that, like he was, that's been on the Breakfast Club 3 times, that's done Vlad TV, that's known throughout every major hip hop platform that you can name, should be able to get the funding quickly. But people, I think, seen and they know that he's not on an up and up, and they're not willing to put their money, or their name behind giving him a donation because they know he's full of shit.
Period. Well, I mean, some of them we don't know. They might have asked him for a business plan or something like that, and he just never called him back. Who knows? We know this brother's never held himself accountable. He doesn't have a business plan. He never has. And maybe those true starters speaking for themselves, and they never maybe publicly said something, but they knew early, like, nah, this dude, he ain't about his business.
Yeah.
It's a shame, man. But on a positive note, Meek Mill, the tweet was great. Hopefully, there's some action going behind that thought, because we would love to see it, man. It'd be great for the city, a city with 30 abandoned schools, as big as that city is, to have someone like you that used to walk them streets, put a school up for hope for them kids, man. It'd be phenomenal to see, man. We'd be there to give coverage. I know that.
Yeah. Definitely. But yeah, man, another episode of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast is in the books. We hope that you enjoyed the podcast today. If you want to know how you can help the podcast, all we ask you to do is leave a comment, leave us a rating, and don't forget to subscribe to the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Episode 261 is in the books. Ask you to bear with us in the next few months. We'll be making a transition. We hear the people. We hear the concerns. We definitely want to take the podcast to another level. So we're going to be switching up a lot of things to bring you an even better, experience. So I'm excited about that, to let the people know, man.
Yeah, man, and appreciate your patience. Y'all got to understand that this is a 2-man show over here. We're going to invest our own money. We're going to invest our own coin and everything that goes into that building and everything that goes into the content we're about to provide for you going into 2020. So patience is a virtue. We appreciate each and every one of y'all that's sticking around with us. Content is what it is, man. We giving y'all nonstop bangers each and every time. We hear y'all. We see the response. We appreciate the hell out of each and every one of y'all that listens on all 3 platforms, that watch on all 3 platforms. We got something very special in store for y'all, man. Very blessed to be in this situation. It's grind time, man. We throwing on the hoodies, we putting on the boots, and we grinding, man.
Yes, definitely. But yeah, man, we'll be back tomorrow for episode 262. That's SamAnt over there. I'm old guy together. We got a Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Do not forget to leave us that 5-star rating. Over and out. Peace.